Welcome to Task and Tuz. I'm Luke Tasker. He is, of course, Andy Fantuz. Tuz, man, what is the deal? Why your stash is weak? What's going on?
I can't rock it like you, man. I just don't have that type of style, have that level of
Uh,
of confidence like you do. So
it's
yeah, I
you're
can't
missing
do it.
out, man. We Louis B and I have the Movember campaign up and going. Any Ticat fans, if you want to make a donation and grow out your stash, we're gonna do some sort of I don't know meet and greet, or you get something signed. We haven't. I don't know if we've totally decided as to what it is, but if you want to join the Ticat Audio Network Movember campaign, reach out to us and we'll and you'll be part of the team for this year. The Andy, you missed it. 2018, I peer pressured every single member of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, including up management, coaching staff, into growing out mustaches. We probably had a good 95% participation that year, and we got I got like wooden, like really like gentlemanly like mustache combs for anybody who shaved to the stash. Did a little like we had a little thing going we called it a because playoffs, every game you win, everyone gets another game check, so you kind of have that in mind, and so we called it a dash for the cash with the stash. And
Oh, that warms my heart.
yeah, it was beauty, man. June Jones had a mustache. Dennis McKnight. We had Go and Media. Everybody, obviously Louis B did it as well. We had all kinds of guys. The day that Larry Dean, one like who, by the way, Larry Dean was an embodiment of how to be a captain of a football team. Like, he was a true leader on a football team, but he was not a stash guy. And the day that he shaved to his mustache, like shaved the rest of his beard off, he came into the facilities with like a full not a toque, but like a full like face warmer, like what you would wear like
Like a
skiing to keep.
balaclava. Yeah.
Yeah, balaclava. So like only he came into the facilities like only his eyes showing, and everybody knew, but he got up in the front of the special teams meeting, and Solly did the same thing. We had to like we were this close to pinning Solly down on the floor of the locker room and shaving his beard off because he was so he didn't want to do it. But both of these guys, it was perfect how they did it, because they decided together to shave fully to the just the mustache on the same day, and had the big reveal in the special teams meeting that morning. But boy, you'd be surprised how much a mustache contest can bring a team together. It was a great moment. You would have very much so loved the sort of friendly peer pressuring that we did that year.
Oh, I can imagine, man. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you stepped up and did that and got all the buy-in.
We
That's
did,
great,
man.
man.
We had some legitimate buy-in, and Mike Filer, I think, let's see. Yeah, he had the mustache all year that year, so he was sort of leading the campaign as well. But yeah, we had great buy-in. Bunch of guys. We said it on the field after practice, and we were making a push. Like, we were playing well and making a push to solidify playoffs, and we had a bunch of young guys just like sprint right into the locker room and shave like immediately after practice when we like announced that we were going to do this. And it was a great buy-in. It was a great way to do something all together. And so then everybody got a nice little comb. Coach O actually shaved to the mustache that year as well. He was the receiver coach that year with June and those guys, and shaved right to the mustache right away. It was a beautiful buy-in. The
Oh, that's fantastic.
You remember the year
I'm
where
sure there were some interesting looking cats there.
oh, some beauties, man, some real beauties. Because some guys, I mean, I cheated like I cheat every year with the mustaches, because I had my whole beard going. It's like I don't want to go from scratch. So, but we just threw this at a bunch of players. So some guys had just like a day's like 5 o'clock shadow growth, and they said, "All right, I'm doing it." So like I was easier for me. A lot of these guys they said, "Shoot, if the team's doing it, I'm in." So that such a beauty of a just a team thing. But it reminds me, because the year, I don't know if it was 15 or 14. I don't think it could have been 14, but you, myself, I want to say it was definitely Greg Ellingson, and then CJ Gable as well. And I think Matt Coates, maybe there was some other guys too, but we all decided not to cut our hair from training camp all the way through the Grey Cup, and which so it was 2014 because we went to the Grey Cup that year, and we were just the shaggiest receiver room, and then CJ Gable would come over from the running backs as well, but we had just these just greasy flows under the helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to grow my fro like every couple of years until I started getting some, wisdom in there, some silver fox, and then it didn't quite look the same with a gray fro, so I had to keep it short and neat from then on.
Dude, yours grows it's voluminous, man. Like it gets up high.
You should see my high school graduation picture. Like it's up on the wall in high school, and coming from a small town and being pretty successful in sports, like people often will like look for you on the wall. And I just got this big smile with this basketball size fro, and I'm just like, you're like, who is this guy?
What a beauty.
Who is this idiot?
The Grey Cup ended, and I remember coming home to Buffalo, late November and whatever, and shaved to a nice clean haircut, season was over, and remember texting you guys a picture, and then sure enough, come the following April, you still had the whole thing going. Like you just never gave up on it. That was just amazing.
Yeah, I think that was my last hurrah, but yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I love the hair coming out of the helmet. The look, the hockey hair look.
You know who's got it going on right now? I don't know if you've noticed this. They don't get a lot of credit in the line of scrimmage there, but Brandon Revenberg right now, one of my good buddies, has some nice lettuce coming out of the helmet right now. He looks like I don't know, like a lineman from days past. He doesn't wear any gloves. He's just like this big, just animal of a man up there with just his shaggy hair. Proud of him.
Yeah. Great dude. Awesome player too. Wow.
Yes.
I love seeing him like 30 yards downfield.
Oh,
he's fast too.
He is
surprisingly fast. So yeah, it's fun. Oh man, you guys, that just makes me think about the when you guys started your own band.
Oh, dude, man, we've talked about ping pong, like those little things, but I say they bring us all together. That not everyone was a fan of the band. Our band name was, of course, as you remember,
Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Oh yeah, Dirty Mike and the Boys. Mike Filer, Kerry Koch, and myself were the founding members. That had mixed reviews around the locker room. It was awesome. The players, we were learning songs. We were in the training room sometimes 6 p.m. at 4 hours after the workday was over. We were just in there jamming out. Mike had his guitar, and we were just just singing our hearts off. But the staff, it's funny because we found remember that what's it called, open mic night at
in Ancaster?
Yeah, Coach and Lantern over there on Old Wilson Road.
Yeah.
And we went up to the open mic night. You're supposed to do 2 songs and then get off the stage so everybody else can because there's other guys there. And we just stayed on the stage for half an hour, just sang every song that we had practiced. We had 15 guys there, and it was a Thursday before the game. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. A bunch of the players went, some of the training staff, even coach, even Deeker was there,
Deeker. Well, Deeker's heart, Deke Rivers is a rock and roll man at heart. So, he had to show up.
Yeah. Yeah. We were doing requests and, it all kind of started even before that. I remember on our road trips, we'd go into some karaoke bars like the Odd Time, and you would sing, Wagon Wheel, and get up on stage, and for all our listeners, Tasker's the real deal now. He's got the voice.
You know what? Actually, that
his own Matthew McConaughey here or something.
There is footage of that. The Ticats media guys. Who would that have been? Pre Louis B. It would have been we have edited legitimate footage of the Coach and Lantern. Yeah, the Coach and Lantern open mic night. Yeah. That exists somewhere. Not sure where, but we just took if anyone knows where the Coach and Lantern, it was a tiny little bar, and we just overtook the whole thing. There was just Ticats everywhere. So the kicker of this story was, we might have been a touch distracted by our musicianship. And I remember that was on a Thursday. We played on a Saturday. and we won against BC, actually, fittingly, at home. But I legitimately dropped a wide open touchdown pass through my hands, like honest to goodness, the DB fell down on the field, and I was standing by myself, and the pass went right through my hands. But we did win. We kicked 5 field goals to win the game with, and like I think it was it was 6 field goals and a single. It was 19 to something that we beat BC, but I was that was deemed that it was a distraction from Dirty Mike and the boys that I dropped that pass, and we kind of fizzled out that year after some peer pressure from from the higher ups. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall it was a good team bonding event. You guys would go not only in the training room, but you go to Mike's apartment or something and practice practice songs. So, while other people are playing video games or wasting time some other way, you're doing something that's connecting you and not just burying your heads in your phone. So I'm all about it. I'd love to see that in this day and age.
The last Dirty Mike and the boys performance was actually in Steubenville, Ohio. You remember this?
Oh yeah.
At where, of course, the hometown of CFL legend Zach Caleros, and we were at the I don't know what it was, like his Zach Caleros charity golf tournament, right? And so we had the Steubenville Country Club, rented out for the tournament, and Dirty Mike and the boys did a little impromptu performance, which was fun.
Yeah, and Dean Caleros, Zach's dad, he's a big music guy, and his sister-in-law,
Nicole's sister,
Alessa is she was a professional musician as well, so she records her own music and some top 40 stuff. So it was quite a good show. It's like, wow, who are these guys coming up from Canada? And
awesome,
you're an honorary Canadian, but coming up from out of town, I should say, and putting on a show, and the Steubenville locals were loving it.
It was great, man.
Yeah.
Zach's dad has a legitimate little folk group down there. They were awesome, man. What a great little trip down there that was. Mike and I used to at Tim Hortons Field. Dirty Mike and the boys started at Jarvis, in the old random rooms that they had all around that building, and then Tim Hortons Field, we would go down to what is now Forge's locker room, which was an empty visitors locker room, and we just jam out in the locker room, man. It was that's awesome stuff, dude. It's just those little things are so important to the health of a team, man. It makes everything just so much more enjoyable as you go through the season.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love using the facilities for for extracurricular events, and it's just such a great spot. And the Ticats did it up right.
Yeah,
it was so welcoming. Welcoming going out there.
One of the biggest abuses of the facility was 100%. You remember Peter Dyakowski if the coffee wasn't right at the stadium, like Peter might not practice that day. Like it was very important to get the coffee station right. And like, you're supposed to have a little, sense of professionalism or privacy in a person's office space, like the head training staff's office space, but not with the Ticats. The head trainer's office is effectively like the Tim Hortons of the facility. Like, we had our coffee machines in there. We were bringing in bagels and donuts on a daily basis, and there was zero privacy in the training room because Peter had the coffee station, set up to perfection. He knew the amount of grounds. It wasn't a full package. You can't do the full package with a full carafe of water. Peter had the ratio just right. Absolute beauty. The year we got kicked out of there for abusing that privilege of having access to the training staff's private office, Peter and I stayed late at the facility one day to take the entire coffee station and rebuild it in what is now the media lounge. At that time, it was the players ping pong room, effectively. But then we rebuilt the entire, coffee setup so that Peter would practice the next day. Because sure enough, he probably would have skipped if we couldn't get our morning coffees in.
How many coffees do you think Peter had a day? Because he had 2 after practice in the cold tub and hot tub. at least.
Oh man. Yeah, it was abusive what he did to his body with coffee, man. Oh my heavens. Like it was nuts. Well, that's not the worst. Peter used to eat McDonald's before games. Like that is not recommended by the Canadian Health Department, I don't think.
I think one of my favorite Peter stories is like he played 11 years, right? I believe. And he wore the exact same shirt on every single road trip. So every single road trip for 11 years, he's got the exact same button-down shirt on the plane. Like, I don't know. Like some people might not have noticed, but that's just to me is just hilarious.
The funny thing is, like, I mean, think of what a dress shirt does after you wear it for 11 years, like multiple times, like 20 times a year. The collar, you know, it's like your regular, like you could, like it's a dress shirt you could wear a tie with, or you could of course just wear it like a button down, right? But like the collar like had no like ability to stand up anymore, so it would just like flare out to like the end of his collarbones.
Yeah.
Like it was like, what the heck? It looks like a shirt you would like paint with now. It's like a paint smock or whatever, but like he just superstitious, whatever, man. He had the same like ugly like pastel shirt for, you know, a whole career. It's a beautiful thing.
And no matter what time we played on the road, he would be up X amount of hours before the game. So even if it was a 1 o'clock game, he'd be out in the streets by 6 a.m. kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he would go find his quart of berries, of 3 different kinds of berries. He would find some oats and make his little, you know, granola shake or whatever it's called. And he just very superstitious guy. But
what a contradiction. Because you're right. The guy eats, like, he probably eats $25 of berries per breakfast. Like the guy has like 15 servings in there. Like he just puts every kind of berry he can find and makes this monster of a smoothie every morning. To my knowledge, he still does this.
Yeah, he said 335 days out of the year probably. He makes it. He has the same breakfast 335 days out of the year.
Jeez.
But
berries for breakfast, and then McDonald's just slams the McDonald's burgers pre-game. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like you play it in BC or something, you go for sushi the night before. Of course, you have to go all you can eat if you're going with Peter, and he gets his money's worth. Let's just say that. And I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he goes on that field with 2 kilograms of rice in him, let alone all the sushi and seaweed and everything else.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's wild. He's certainly an interesting cat, but the best guy to. I also loved. Zach taught me this actually. He's like, just bring Peter a coffee and tell him to teach you something in the hot tub or the cold tub. And you want to like be able to sit in the cold tub for 15 minutes without getting cold.
Yeah. Like
just have some entertaining conversation with Peter and bring him a coffee and he'll teach you about whatever you want. Like it could be, you could learn about electrical equipment, or you could learn about the Civil War, or you could learn about the 1400s, you know, like whatever you want.
What an amazing dude. It's just unbelievable. So he is highly intelligent, but I tell you what, you better be ready to sit there for 15 minutes when you get him going on something. Cause like, if you catch that off guard, he'll start going about the Civil War before you knew it. And like you had someplace to be, but not anymore.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
Do you remember I just have a vivid memory. It was like one of the first couple weeks I was on the Ticats, 2013, busing to McMaster, which by the way, the bus story is a whole nother episode, but Peter Dyakowski and Greg Ellingson got in a full-on wrestling match. We're talking about, I don't know, almost 500 pounds of man. No, it'd be well more than that, actually. 530 pounds of human being, professional athletes. They were literally in a full-fledged wrestling match, clothes being ripped off on the way to practice at McMaster. These things just, you think back at the time, there was surely probably a good reason for it, but they were in a legitimate wrestling match.
Yeah. Oh, those bus rides were the best. Man, Peter, he's something else.
Oh man, we should get him on a Tasker and Andy podcast. Just a special guy. He could learn. He could just teach that. We could ask him, Peter. You know, I don't know. Tell us about the early years of the CFL. Give us a good Grey Cup story from the history of the CFL or something. That guy's a living podcast, man. Endless.
Yeah, I still get to work with Peter these days. So but you're
Oh, yeah.
absolutely right. I have to be selective in the times I want to ask him for something.
Yeah, amazing, man. Yeah, surely many things coming in the future years of Peter Dyakowski. You never know what he's going to get involved in: politics, business, CFLPA. The guy's all over the place. Great Canadian, at least in the eyes of Luke Tasker.
Yeah, same here.
That's good.
Same here, and he's got a big connection with this game. He's from Vancouver, and but
True.
obviously played 10 years in Hamilton. So Hamilton, and he now lives and resides in Hamilton.
Here, yeah.
So yeah, his childhood team against his blood.
That's right.
Ticats, but yeah. Oh, it's good, man.
Good stuff. Lee, getting ready for this weekend, man. I love just recounting the locker room days, and we have more weeks to come, more player stories to share, more fun to have. So we'll call it. And Tuz, looking forward to seeing you up there this week for the BC Lions coming to town, man.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, buddy.
Nice chatting with you.
You too. Have a good one, man.